Alright, this is the second attempt of trying to get this video made. I went on a huge tangent, rabbit hole, deep dive, whatever. Uh, that literally was like an hour long. So, hopefully, because looking back at it, I want to make this one a lot more structured and stuff. So, this week, I'm going to talk about consumption. That's the main goal of this one. I know last week I didn't make a video, so this mainly because there wasn't much new developing or whatever. So hopefully this week will be a little bit better with making a video with somewhat of a good topic and some recent updates, I guess. So I want to start off by mentioning some work-related things. I'm trying to remember what I did last time or what I talked about last time. But I don't believe I mentioned the position that was originally like $70,000 salary that was to deal with maintenance crews or whatever on the campus that I work at, like electrical, HVAC, carpentry, plumbing, all that jazz. Um, I did get denied from that position, which again, understandable because I did kind of apply to it as big goof. I didn't think I was going to get it because bare minimum they wanted you to have 5 years experience dealing with those type of crews. So, whatever. Um, I don't believe I mentioned it last time. Maybe I did, but I did apply to one of the position, which was like a supervisor role. It is really up my alley, I think, because it wants you to have a degree, obviously, and it wants you to have experience working with Microsoft Office, all those type things, Word, Excel, obviously, all those things, which I do have experience because pretty much that's like a good portion of what my degree did or used. I believe I did mention it last time, but just recap, I guess. So hopefully that one will get a hold of me. I did apply to that one last month, the 28th, and it is currently June the 16th. So hopefully I hear back from that one soon, and I'm hoping that I get that position because there is one other update about work. So not so much like a position just yet, as much as it's just more of a story. But my current supervisor is out on leave for work for not for work, but for sick leave or whatever. They are dealing with some treatments, and our current supervisor, we just saw her the other day, and she mentioned that our supervisor may or may not be coming back at all. So, who knows? I hate to look at it this way, but it's kind of dog eat dog world, and hopefully, if they do end up leaving, that I can possibly apply to that position, since I would know who I'm supervising, because the people on our shift, there's a total of like 12 people, and I know who they all are because uh, what I do on campus in my position is I literally go to all buildings that are academic related, um, across the entire campus. So who knows? Um, so that's really all the work stuff. Um, Next, I guess, like always, I'll talk about money and stuff. No new savings per se. Is still sitting at $20,000 in the high yield. I have $800 currently in savings, and then I believe I have $1,200 or $1,300. I don't remember the specific numbers in my checkings. One other bad thing that has happened recently. So with me having gone to classes or taken classes at the university for this semester, even though I withdrew. I thought that by the time I withdrew and everything would be processed into the financial aid office and everything else, that I would have to not pay anything. Like, it'd be 100% refunded. Everything would be everything else. No, apparently the financial aid office was the last to receive it, and I did withdraw on a Friday. So by the time they came in on Monday, the withdrawal deadline was already passed. So instead, they refunded 70% back. So, it just defaulted because it was the university that paid for it. But I have to pay the other 30%, which is currently at $1,046.70, which is basically an entire check, you know. With the amount that I take home every 2 weeks, it's $1,175.42. So I'll be left with like, what is that, 20 bucks, $25 if I'm lucky. So again, hopefully with that emergency savings of $800, and I'll have to do some workarounds, either right now, which I don't believe, but I'll have one other check this month, so I'll probably just like kind of split it between these two, where I'm able to pay off that debt, hopefully by the end of this month. That way it doesn't go into next month and so on, and gains any fees, late fees, whatever they want to put on it, just because. So again, it's all me because I decided to withdraw and everything else. So, whatever. Yeah, I think that's really about it as far as like updates, more or less, for the time being that's happened over the past 2 weeks. The rest of the time, I kind of wanted to talk about just consumption. I know I mentioned I have that debt, but lately, with me having reached my goal of $20,000, I'm not going to touch it by any means, but I feel like, how should I start this? I guess I hate spending money, right? Like, I'm really good at hoarding it. I'm just not really good at spending it, I guess. So, I like, I know I need like new things like clothes and all that stuff. To be very honest, a lot of my clothes I believe I've had since my what is it called, freshman year of high school. I think I have a few shirts that I've had since middle school, so that'd be something that I can look forward to getting. But also, a really big thing would be a pair of shoes, because I don't have them on me or anything right now. But I have one pair of shoes and one pair of boots for the winter, and my pair of shoes literally has holes in them. So I really should probably look into something like that. Definitely, because honestly, my feet are constantly burning. So I don't think that's a good sign. I took out my soles the other day, and I literally have a bunch of holes all throughout them. So I probably, not gonna lie, I think looking back at it, and maybe I should look at one of those apps where like they pay you to walk or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I walk like an average of like 10 miles a day, you know, 5 to 10 miles a day. So something like that. So I walk a lot around campus. We do have our own personal vehicles, but I do have to run a lot, especially when I have to take big heavy machinery, big heavy machinery, all across a whole building that's like, you know, 3 stories tall, you know. So a lot of running. But that's a few things that I really need And I think with the amount of money that I have currently in my checkings and with that debt in mind, um, I think I'll have a little bit of money that I can actually spend on myself for that. But I also want to see about getting things that I want. Um, I'm kind of losing interest a little bit with my hobbies and stuff. I'm currently trying to paint miniatures and stuff to try to keep myself occupied. And as of lately, I've kind of been like flaking on it, you know? I've been just like strictly just sticking with watching TV and YouTube and all that stuff, which is something that I want to do less of and actually have something that's more, I guess, analog, you know, not really messing with my phone or, you know, sitting in front of a screen of any sort. So I was thinking about doing some more into that. There's not really much that I have with the supplies that I use, the tools and all that stuff, paintbrushes, paints, all that stuff. So I was thinking about spending some money there, but who knows? Um, yeah, I mean that's really what I was thinking about, but really what I wanted to talk about with consumption and the bad parts of it is just namely for the fact that with me hating to spend money, I don't have credit or a credit card or I don't even believe I have a credit score since I don't have uh, a credit card or have ever taken any loans or any of those things. Um, but as of lately, um, I'm not gonna like really say too much, but my parents are not really the best with money, and obviously we don't really own our home or anything like that, and they have really bad um, money management skills, I guess you can say, because their credit scores as of lately, as far as I'm aware, is okay. It's like in the 500-600 range or whatever, and they just recently paid off their last credit card debt and everything else, which was like a couple $100s or whatever. Well, obviously there's a few bills that still need to be paid, like take for instance rent and car insurance, or not necessarily car insurance, but car payment, um, and your utilities, your electric, all that stuff. Well, lately they've been kind of, in my opinion, maybe it's normal, but spending bit of money using their credit card again, and again, I'm it's their money. I understand it's you know affecting them, but I believe it's in the end affecting me as well because I'll have to end up helping them spend a little bit more on my part for things like rent, um, because they've gotten things like, for instance, not really like a huge pool or whatever. It's kind of like a little kiddie pool with a small pump and stuff like that. So that's a couple $100. Then they got a TV stand, which is another couple $100. So now they're like at 1,000. Excuse me, 2,000, something like that. And then they also got some clothes for themselves and things like that. And those are things that I know I want too. So I'm trying to, look at that and relate it. And it's just like things just got racked up really quick and now they're in debt again. So, you know, things like that is what scares me with spending money, especially, which again, I think I budget stuff really well, especially if I'm getting to the last cent before I even think of spending money. So, you know, but part of me thinking about consumption as well has been about not just money, but food as well. Maybe it's not as healthy, but I, as of lately, have been just like eating a single meal a day. And I don't know if it's just I'm losing my ability to eat or if I just don't feel like it or what, but I just I don't really eat too much, um, and I like to cook. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, and I'm starting to lose my ability to want to cook food. For the past like week now, I've been just mainly getting fast food, and I just feel like it's bogging me down a little bit. So, you know, I just maybe it's unhealthy consumption, you know. Even though again I'm eating just one meal a day, maybe it's just that too. So, but besides just money and food, I guess um the other type of consumption I guess would be what I see on, the social medias and stuff that I have. And I don't want to get too much in nitty gritty because, again, I just got done making a whole hour long video, which was exclusively just this, but I'll just end it with this, and that is that I really just need to delete Reddit because I'm not only dooming, but I'm not going to get too into it, but there is some stuff that's not appropriate that I'm viewing and things of that nature, and I believe I'm consuming that at an unhealthy rate. And I feel like if it's rivaling the amount that I would watch YouTube in a week type stuff is how I'll put it, I guess. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Cause again, I just got done making like an hour long video, and it was just exclusively about that topic, and it's way too much, and so whatever. Anyhow, besides just Reddit, I think I'm going down the rabbit hole of dooming a bit too much on YouTube because, for instance, I'm watching some stuff, things, whatever, namely about housing, as well as things like going out to eat that I feel like as of late I've been kind of relating a little too hard on, and maybe I'm just looking at it uh, in a more negative light instead of being trying to be more positive. Again, I'm trying to look back at what I said about patience and acceptance. You have to be patient for the long-term effects of things, but you also have to accept your like short-term situation as well. Obviously, you can fix it because if you fix your situation right now, you're going to technically fix your long-term, you know. But I believe that again, I'm looking too much at the negative of things. Um, as I mentioned with housing, especially, um, there are some scary thoughts that I've been recently having where uh, I mean, we're not having a hard time paying rent by any means, but I believe as we renew our lease by next year, our rent will increase again, and I believe then we may possibly be um, unable to afford where we're at. But if we are, then the prices of housing, as right now where we're at for what we need to live, is kind of the cheapest solution that we found. And the next best thing would be to obviously look into buying a home. And the prices of houses in my area are just not really well. Um, so there's that. But also, uh, as I mentioned, with some of the videos I've been watching, some of them have been about fast food, for instance, and just the general decline in quality uh, across anything that you eat. Maybe I just watched one too many of those type of videos, and I just felt like the expense for cooking and the time that I need for the ability to cook a well developed meal is just not worth it compared to fast food, when basically fast food is as much, if not maybe slightly cheaper than going to a grocery store and getting fresh food. So, yeah. But other than that, again, I just think this week, again, has been a little bit negative, and, the headspace I'm in, as I believe a little bit of consumption has been in my head, topic of consumption and what I'm actually consuming, not only in food and wealth, but also what I'm just viewing. And I believe it's just at an unhealthy rate all across those subtopics. So I'll probably look back at this video and just kind of, really think about what I need to do to really start the process of, again, maybe accepting where I'm at and being patient and trying to work with what I can do to be better for the long term. So, this one's a little short, I guess, but it's really about it for this week. Hopefully next week will be a little bit better, and hopefully I can just look back at this and kind of come up with some sort of game plan, because I think I'm just at a very stagnant rate right now, and I'm on the verge of just declining with the things, again, that I'm consuming, and just in general about the people that are around me that are consuming their own things. So hopefully this was a good one, or whatever. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a tangent, as, again, my last video that I just kind of made before I realized that it was like an hour long, and it was just about deleting Reddit for the most part. So hopefully that's it, and hopefully everything is well. So I'll see you next week.